now tuned in to Frankyrose's Crime Updates. Crime Updates. You are now tuned in to Frankyrose's Crime Updates. Crime Updates.
Let's switch to suspense. Let's switch to suspense.
You are now tuned in to Frankyrose's Crime Updates. Crime Updates. Crime Updates. You are now tuned in to Frankyrose's Crime Updates. Crime Updates.
Hello.
Hello.
How are you?
Good. Give me 2 seconds here.
All right.
I am just setting up the stream. Welcome, everybody. This is my first time doing this. I'm with Joe from Darkness Exposed. And, yeah, hopefully I can get this right.
Are we already live on your channel?
We are.
Oh, cool. Okay.
So I will pop over to you.
Awesome sauce.
And I think this is how we do it.
I think so.
Well, thanks for the invite, friend. I'm ready.
Well, thanks for coming.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
All right.
You're the pro. I'm gonna.
Did you already?
Mm-hmm.
Did you already play your intro?
You bet.
Okay. Good.
Yeah.
For anybody on Franky's channel, you will see my intro. I think.
Mm-hmm.
When I go live on my channel. And
Perfect.
let's see, there is a little blurb that Fox 23 has. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go ahead and go live on my channel now, play my intro, and we'll roll into this, and then we'll wait for the press conference.
You betcha.
All right.
Buckled in.
I can feel the good enough from Ethan's got bill, got fight, got pride, got reason. If they wanna go eat, then you know I'm gonna feed them. If you coming for me, hope you ready for me. And I got eyes in the back of my head, I'm seeing. Take me for granted and you know I'm leaving. I'ma take what's mine with the webs I'm weaving. I could take this crowd from seeing to believing. Got it full blood and my tongue keeps bleeding from the words I spit. So sharp, so freezing, so cold. They feeling I could tear you apart, or I could go heal them. Don't believe in fate, don't believe in feelings. I just need a place in my mind starts feeling. I don't pace myself, I grind on kneeling. Got lust for change, I just love the feeling. No, I ain't gonna give up. Got too little time, I'ma live up. Head down, push forward through the tough times. Cause anything worth doing is a tough climb. And I ain't gonna give up. Got too little time, I'ma live up. Head down, push forward through the tough times. Cause anything worth doing is a tough climb. Cause I'ma live life for the fight, yeah, I'm here to get it. Got drive, got sight, always have a vision. I go by at night, I be in my feelings. I'ma be fine, need time, and I'll still be winning. I live life for the fight, yeah, I'm here to get it. I got drive, got sight, always have a vision. I don't buy at night, I be in my feelings. I'ma be fine, need time, and I'll still be winning. I can feel the blood creeping up from the heathens. Got will, got fight, got pride, got reason. If they wanna go eat, then you know I'm gonna feed them. If you're coming for me, hope you're ready for a beating. I can feel the blood creeping up from the heathens. Got will, got fight, got pride, got reason. If they wanna go eat, then you know I'm gonna feed them. If you're coming for me, hope you're ready for a beating.
Hello, everybody. My name is Joe, and this is my little corner of the internet. We are joined today by Frankyrose's Think Tank. I am going to drop her link. Please make sure to sub up to her channel. We are waiting for the press conference for the Okmulgee missing mystery. The 4 men that went missing last Sunday. And then four sets of human remains were found in the Deep Fork River.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I don't like the way that's phrased. Hello, all. I'm not hearing anything. Is it just me? Am I the only one not hearing this? Hey, JJ.
Do you have your do you have the when you share? Oh, you guys can't hear? Okay, let me stop
Okay.
it and restart
No
it.
problem.
Let's make sure everybody can hear it.
And stick together.
Perfect.
Let's go back here.
All four bodies were recovered from the water on Friday night near this river you see behind me. Fox 23's Alex Cash is live tonight with the latest on the details of the discovery and the continuing search for the four men who vanished in the same area while riding their bikes.
It's been nearly a week now since four men set off on their bikes in Okmulgee and never came home. Now, after four bodies were found in a river, the wait continues to find out if it's them. Meanwhile, I've been speaking to the mayor of Okmulgee, who is calling on the community to stand strong and stick together. The wait continues for four Okmulgee families as experts work to identify four bodies found in these waters near a bridge over the Deep Fork River in rural Okmulgee County. Jessica Chastain is desperately waiting for news about her husband, Mark.
Hope and pray maybe it's not them. I don't know, but right now it's just not looking good.
Mark, along with his brother Billy and their friends Alex Stevens and Mike Sparks, all disappeared Sunday. Okmulgee police say remains were spotted in the water Friday by a passerby.
My understanding is the passerby saw something in the water that he thought was suspicious and felt compelled to report it.
Officers confirmed they recovered four male bodies from the waters late Friday.
We're meticulous at every crime scene, but when you have water, spotting evidence is much more difficult. So the evidence search process in the immediate area of any item of evidence that you do find, and in this case, we're talking about human remains, you have to be extra meticulous. You have to go that extra step to make sure you don't miss anything.
In a statement Saturday, Okmulgee police say they're still waiting for the medical examiner's office to identify the bodies and said officers are continuing to sift through digital evidence and await phone records from search warrants. Meanwhile, Saturday, police and FBI were seen searching a salvage yard around a mile away from where the bodies were found. Okmulgee Mayor Mickey Baldwin says the community is trying to come to terms with the events of the last week, a rarity for his town.
It's not like us. These are not things that happen every day, every week, every month. We have, some crime and those kind of things, but usually it's petty crime for the most part. I believe that many were shocked and just amazed that this would happen in our community.
He's calling for unity and is asking for the community to support one another.
Let's do this together. Let's pray for these families. Let's keep supporting.
Here's every week.
Well, police say the search for the four missing men continues. In a press conference Friday, the police chief said they're not giving up. Covering news that matters, I'm Alex Cash, Fox 23 News.
And that's exactly what we do here is we cover crime news that matter. And something happened to these guys and their families deserve closure and they deserve justice. And let me see. Go ahead. Yeah, it looks like it's from what I have been able to kind of dig into. Whoop, let's see, we have a press conference feed. Oh, that is Okmulgee Times.
Joe Prentice, JoePrentice.
Let me see if we have a, because Fox 23 should be carrying it.
Mm-hmm.
They were supposed to be.
Yeah. And KRMG, let me see if they're doing it.
Yeah, if you can find a feed, that would be great. In the meantime, we'll go ahead and look here.
I think we're there.
Okay, that's a video again.
My name is Joe Prentice. I am police chief for the city of Okmulgee. And I have a statement related to the missing 4 men case that we've been working that you will be following. The human remains recovered from the Deep Fork River at the Sharp Road Bridge have been positively identified as Mark Chastain, Billy Chastain, Mike Sparks, and Alex Stevens. Although the official cause and manner of death is still pending, each victim suffered gunshot wounds. All 4 bodies were dismembered before being placed in the river, and that is what caused difficulty in determining identity, and that's why it took so long.
I was afraid of that.
Last night. The river appears to be a dump site. This investigation is now murder investigation.
Oh my
Investigators
goodness.
worked all weekend recovering the bodies from the river and sifting through information obtained during the missing persons portion of the investigation. Based on a statement related to the missing 4 men case, recovering the bodies from the river and sifting through information obtained during the missing persons portion of the investigation.
Damn.
Based on information obtained during the course of the investigation, we believe the men planned to commit some type of criminal act when they left the residence on West 6th Street. That belief is based on information supplied by a witness who reports they were invited to go with the men to quote unquote hit a lick big enough for all of them. We do not know what they planned or where they planned to do it. Task force officers continue to investigate and will do so until all leads are exhausted. A very methodical search was conducted Saturday at the salvage yard on 20th Street, as well as surrounding properties. Nothing remarkable was observed inside the salvage yard, but evidence of a violent event was discovered on an adjoining property. The owner of both salvage yards, Joe Kennedy, is considered a person of interest, but no charges have been filed.
I was wondering.
Investigators would like to speak with him again.
Joe Kennedy
was reported missing Saturday night and may be suicidal. He is last believed to be driving a blue Chrysler PT Cruiser bearing Oklahoma license LSA 245. During the missing person portion of the investigation, we were very liberal with information releases in an attempt to find the men. Once the investigation changed to a murder investigation, we will be much more conservative with information to protect the integrity of the investigation. I want to recognize the agencies that have assisted so far with the body recovery and Saturday search: the District Attorney's Violent Crime Task Force, OSBI, the Oklahoma Highway Patrol Boat Team, Light Horse Police, the FBI, the Okmulgee Fire Department, and Okmulgee County Emergency Management, as well as the Okmulgee Emergency Management. That is the conclusion of my statement. I will respond to questions if you have any.
When you say they were going to get a lick, are we talking about drugs? Are we talking about copper?
We have no idea. We have no idea. That is common terminology for engaging in some type of criminal behavior, but we do not know what they were planning or where they plan to do it.
Will we get a picture of Mr. Kennedy here pretty soon? Will you send that out?
Mr. Kennedy is a person of interest that we would like to talk to, and currently not a suspect. I probably won't release his photo unless and until he is named a suspect.
When is the last time you spoke to Mr. Kennedy?
Friday afternoon.
What are you telling the families about just kind of working this case and how you're trying to get them answers?
All of the information that I just provided you, I provided the family earlier this morning. I have assured them that nothing changes except the focus of the investigation. We have worked around the clock all week. We were out all weekend, and we will continue to work at the same pace that we've been working to try to find out exactly what happened to their other ones and who did it.
Have you found the bicycles yet?
We have not. We still are missing the bicycles, and unfortunately, I have no description of the bicycles. At least one, and we believe all of the boys had multiple bicycles, and there's no way to know which ones they were on.
Can you recover the weapon, the gun used in shooting?
We have not.
Do you know what type of weapon it would, handgun, rifle?
I'm not releasing that information.
Wow.
Should I, if I see Mr. Kennedy, am I in danger? Is the community in danger with him out there?
I don't have any evidence to indicate that Mr. Kennedy is a threat to anyone else. But I would use caution. If anyone sees Mr. Kennedy, please call the local authorities.
Can you tell us what evidence was recovered at the second salvage yard or property nearby?
We're not releasing that yet.
Have you ever in your tenure had something like this before?
I've worked over 80 murders in my career. I have worked murders involving multiple victims. I have worked dismemberments, but this case involves the highest number of victims, and it's a very violent event. So I can't say that I've never worked anything like it, but it's right up there at the top.
So reason to believe that the victims were placed in the river on Sunday evening?
I don't know that I can give you a firm answer. It take a considerable amount of time to put the bodies in the condition that they were and then dump them in the river. So my best estimate would be late Sunday night, early Monday morning.
When you said on CNN over the weekend the bodies have been appeared to be in the water for a while, did the water do anything to the condition of these bodies to make your investigation harder? Is that what you said?
Water always affects decomposition. And depending on temperature, depending on the current flow, there's a lot of different factors that do that. And I would defer to forensic pathologists to better explain that than I. Whenever water is involved, it makes it much more difficult to identify evidence. And we are methodical at every scene, but we have to be extra methodical when we're dealing with a body of water because it's so easy to miss evidence.
When you last spoke with Mr. Kennedy, was he cooperative? What was his state of mind like?
He appeared to be cooperative. He was not antagonistic.
Is that property where the event happened, is that his property as well, or just the salvage yard?
No, it is not his property. That property belongs to the property surrounding the salvage yard. And maybe for ease, I have since discovered that
just me
Mr.
or
Kennedy referred to the South 75 location as the salvage yard and the 20th Street location as the scrap yard, which might make it easier to keep track of what we're talking about. So the scrap yard belonged to Mr. Kennedy. The property surrounding the scrap yard belongs to 3 different businesses.
And that property you're talking about is the one where the violent event looks like.
That's correct. It was on one of the other pieces of property.
Did these men have a relationship with Mr. Kennedy before? Were they employees or relatives of any kind?
Not that I'm aware of. Mr. Kennedy has denied knowing them, and obviously I can't ask the victims, but I don't have any reason to believe that there was any pre-existing relationship.
With them being cut up into pieces, is there a chance somebody's going to find something down the creek or something like that, or do you believe you have recovered everything?
I believe this morning we recovered the last piece. We recovered the majority of the remains Friday night. We made an additional recovery yesterday, and we recovered what I believe is the last piece this morning.
Were the bodies tied down to weight them down in the river, or were they just kind of falling free?
I didn't see any evidence that there was an attempt to weigh them down.
Now, with 4 men and 1 person of interest, do you think he may have, whoever did this, may have been alone or received help?
Whenever I conduct an investigation, I always develop theories, but I don't publicize those until I have evidence to support them. At this point, I don't have any evidence of anyone else being involved.
Have you spoken with the family members before you met with us, and how are they doing?
I did speak with the family members. They were upset. I think that they had already resolved themselves that this was their loved ones, but the additional information about dismemberment was obviously a shock, and they were very distraught.
What's next?
A lot of work. We're still waiting on cellular telephone records. We have requested additional video surveillance from businesses in the area. We'd like to talk to Mr. Kennedy again. We continue to get tips of sightings. But as information comes in of people that potentially know things were going on, we still have a lot of leads to follow, and we will continue to bring those in, prioritize them, and send those out.
Nope, it must be this feed. I thought it was maybe my headphones, but it's not. Let me get out of this real quick. No, it must be this feed. I thought it was maybe my headphones, but it's not. Let me. Is it muted? No, I got it. It's not muted. Let me go to. We'll go back over this press conference on. This is the Facebook group, and there is a lot of information from the Facebook group. Yeah. Get out of this real quick. Get out of this real quick.
I agree, James, though. More than one. I can't see one person doing it.
Week now, as many of us have tuned in to figure out what happened. We also heard from the chief after talking with family members, very, very sad after all of this news came out. I talked with family last week, and they were just devastated, hoping and praying that this wasn't the outcome. And unfortunately for everyone involved, this was the outcome. Right now, police say the next part of this investigation is getting more phone records. They need more phone records to figure out where these men went on Sunday night when they went missing about 8 o'clock. And there's still sightings coming in of them, but of course they have been found now. They're also looking for more video evidence as well. But again, a very sad coming in of them, but of course they have a story that we brought you guys last week.
There's a delay. Wow.
Time to have your birds tuned up for winter.
All right, now we'll go ahead and mute that while we're waiting for them to come back. Oh my goodness. So the guys, looks like they had, they lost signal at the actual press conference, and then the news took over. So this is kind of the type of bikes that they were on. And from what I gathered through the Facebook group and just learning about Okmulgee, it's a very small town. Reminds me a lot of the town that I grew up in California. Very small. Everybody knows everybody. And
what were they loading up with those
looks
bikes?
like they were sheet metal. And they would, and they would go, they'd find metal, take it to the recycler to get money, and just some side hustles.
Yeah.
Well, unfortunately, their side hustle wasn't
It was a death
legal.
sentence.
And they did not deserve that. Now, there is something that I have been stewing on. And it was on here. I've got to find it now. I had it up quite a while ago.
Oh.
Let's see, maybe.
So what do you think?
Here. Yes,
do you think
here.
one person could have done this?
Well, I don't know. Now, this was interesting to me because, right after they found the remains in the river, there was something that happened close, and so I want to play this news clip and just see what you guys think about it.
Questions, and they're going to have to wait a while to get some answers tonight after human remains were found in the Deep Fork River in rural Okmulgee County. Thanks for joining us tonight. I'm Rick Marinon. Shay and Sarah have the night off. The chief says the search has not been called off for these men, nor has it been suspended because the remains found today have not yet been identified, but they were found close to where these men initially disappeared on Sunday.
And now
we are still at the scene of another location where remains were also found this evening. It's not far down the road.
See, now this is interesting to me. So so they were found in the river, and then remains were found right here. So is this connected? So that is something I don't know. So it's something I'm looking into. They said he was suicidal. I don't know.
From the river where the chief was talking about. It's at West 20th Street and South Madison Avenue. That's where we find Fox 23's John Acebas beginning our team coverage tonight. He's been there all evening. John, what have you been seeing?
A lot of lights and sirens, and just getting that email from the police chief within the last few minutes that all the bodies have been recovered, all four. We're not sure who they are, but it does kind of beg the question, what is going on down the road at West 20th and South Madison Avenue? This cop car and several others have been here for hours in that field. I've seen investigators taking pictures of something to the point where OSBI drove a truck out there and there were drones flying over the field. Obviously, there's still a police presence, but these questions are the same questions that people who knew these men still have tonight. From the corner of West 20th and South Madison Avenue, you cannot see what these investigators are taking pictures of. But what you can see is they seem to be focused on a spot in the field far from the road. After the pictures were taken, the men returned and an OSBI truck drove to the spot. Other law enforcement units were parked at the intersection while two more sat next to yellow tape in front of the entrance of what appears to be a salvage yard that sits directly next to the field where those investigators are. As the evening grew and other units arrived, a drone could be seen flying over that field. The Okmulgee County Sheriff's Office announced investigators will be on scene for a lengthy amount of time. Nikki Harjo lives nearby and was close with several of those missing men. She says she's hurt, and it doesn't seem right that all of them could vanish at once.
Whatever happened to get all four of them at one time? Because they were street fighters. Me and that boy right there couldn't take them right now. Just one of them, because they were tough. I've never known them to come down this way. I mean, they were raised here from birth.
So tough guys. Could one person have done this? I don't know. it's and are those remains connected? Whoops. If anybody knows how to disable where DMs automatically pop up on Facebook, please let me know. Excuse me. Oh, I'm so sorry about that. Got a tickle. So now we know it's them for sure. And oh my goodness, it's just so sad. Absolutely. Yeah. Yeah, and not chop them up. Yeah, it would make perfect sense. And we in the Facebook group, we have had our eye on Joe Kennedy, and so they've been everybody in the group, they've been on the right side. It is, so definitely go in there. I will. Yeah, I'm wondering if it's a drug connection, or were they trying to take things from the salvage yard, for extra, and then go take them to the recycler. And yeah, he's threatened before. Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. There's been threats before. So definitely go into this Facebook group. I'm going to be working on putting together a timeline and get some background details on Joe Kennedy. And so we will plan a live case discussion for that. There is also another update in the Crystal Rogers case that I just saw. Yeah, they were the FBI. Crystal has been missing since 2015, and her mother made a statement 22 minutes ago. So I will go ahead and upload that separately. So watch for that upload. And then I will be live again tonight at 9 o'clock Eastern to talk about the updates on Quentin Simon. And Birdie, don't be embarrassed. Do not be embarrassed. You are wonderful. I love that you are chatting. So Joe is the owner of the salvage yard, and that's where the phone pinged. If you go back in the first press conference and first video that I put up, we can go back over that when we do a live case discussion, and we'll go over every single little tidbit in this case, because I really, really love to dig into these cases and try and look at things from a different angle. Yeah, I have a very dark past myself, which there's a playlist on my channel about my past. And so what I try to do is I try to channel the criminal mindset that I used to have and try and figure out what these criminals would think. What would they do? And in this state, with him being suicidal, I can see that those remains would end up being Joe. Yeah, he's in his 70s. So how is Joe how is he, yeah, in his 70s with 4 men that are street smart, that are and yeah, so I don't know, there's some puzzle pieces that we need to put together in this case. Right, Bertie? Your past has no place in the present or the future. We all have a past of some kind. It's called the past for a reason. Yes, I thank you for that. Yeah, because a lot of people are bringing up my stuff from way back, and it's just like, okay, whatever. I've already addressed it. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, he could do it. That's true. He could do it with being that they were shot. I guess he could shoot them. Um, he could shoot all four, yeah, and then do what he did and put him in. Oh my gosh! I mean, it's when I saw the very very first article in Chasing Truth. If you don't follow her, make sure you do. I'll drop her link in a minute, but I saw it on her. She posted on her community tab, and I saw the article, and it stuck out to me. Of that, it was going to take them a while to get the remains out of the river, and I'm just thinking, okay, well, they've only been missing since last Sunday. There, if they were intact, it's not going to be that involved to have to remove 4 bodies from a river. And so, yes, he said body parts sticking out of the water. That's exactly what he said. And so we're going to go back over everything and kind of see what happened. Where is Joe? Why did he do this? These families need closure, and the victims need justice. But if he took himself out, then their justice is stolen. But they still need justice in my eye. Regardless of stolen justice, their names need to be everywhere. Their faces need to be everywhere. Yes, they were doing wrong, but you know what? They didn't deserve this. They didn't deserve this. Absolutely. So, yeah, and couldn't see what was underwater. Yeah, it was so disturbing. And one old man did all this. It's hard to believe. It's really, you know. And I get the whole small town living, that everybody knows everybody. And so, was this something that we could have seen with red flags with Joe? Because that's one thing I also like to look at, is what was he doing that we could have identified as a red flag to try and prevent this in the future? Yeah, 2 wrongs definitely don't make a right. Right, right, right. And yeah, the other case that I am following and telling their stories with Audrey B, she posted it on, she posted the story on her channel, which I will go ahead and drop the link. It is a very, very graphic situation. Unfortunately, a little 5-year-old girl named Chanel was taken too soon by her mother. And in a horrific way. So please go watch that video. Chanel needs justice. And it's a case out of Harris County in Tomball, Texas. And the hardest part of it is that in court documents, the 5-year-old allegedly screamed, "I've been good," as her mom tried to kill her. Yes. So please go watch this video. The monster, it's horrible. It's absolutely horrible. And yeah, Melissa Town. Yeah, I have I don't know. I don't know, but this wasn't the world that I grew up in. And this isn't the world that I want my kids to grow up in. So we have to do something as a whole to change it. I don't know what we can change, but we've got to do something. Yeah, and awareness is absolutely key. Awareness is absolutely key. Telling their stories. I also found her picture, so I will send that to you. You know what? Actually, I can pull it up while I'm here. Hold on. Because I had already started a file on it. Tomball. Yeah. Yeah. I don't either. I mean, look at this precious face. How can somebody do this to this baby? And she was screaming, I was good. It's horrible. It's absolutely horrible. And then there's, I mean, there's so many cases I'm working on behind the scenes right now. It's ridiculous. But a Texas mom that has been missing was found in her trunk, and her teenage son was involved in a chase. You know, a 15-year-old did the mass shooting in Raleigh. I mean, it's just what's happening to our world. What's happening? I don't know. I don't know. Oh yeah. 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 I mean, I do. I do. I absolutely feel this. And it kills me when I see a child that is taken like this. It absolutely kills me. Absolutely. You know, any crimes like this, especially now. Yes, exactly what Mel said. Addictions and mental health. That to me is the biggest problem. Mary Marcia, this unfortunately wasn't just discipline. This was, she was strangled. Her throat was slit. She's 5 years old. 5 years old. Let me, Houston did a piece on it. I watched it earlier. Let me go to my history real quick, and I'll play that little news clip. Let's see, right here. I got it. Yeah, I need to go and watch his not press conference. I need to go watch his oh my god, just the bits and pieces that I saw. I'm like, oh, what a cocky jackass. I mean, oh, absolutely. And he's playing the system. Yeah. And let's watch this quick update.
Get right out to our breaking news this morning. We just got an update from the courtroom where a mom was due to face a judge on charges of capital murder.
The deputies say she confessed to killing her 5-year-old daughter. Ugochi Iloka was there as prosecutors read those charges. Ugochi, this is just a horrible case.
Dave and Steph, and the details just get even more horrific, really. And just a warning to our viewers watching, some of the details are very graphic. But she waived her right, that tomboy mother accused of killing her own 5-year-old daughter. She waived her right for that court appearance. However, the bond was set for her $15 million. High bond there. Take a look. This is 37-year-old Melissa Town. And in court, it was stated she made a conscious decision and needed to end child's life. It was also stated that a knife was found in her pocket. It goes on. The details go on to share that she admitted to slitting her 5-year-old daughter's throat after taking her to the woods at Spring Creek Park. Just extremely horrific details there. She says that when that happened and the child was still alive, she ended up putting a trash bag over her head. So just, again, horrific details. She also went on to say that her child was evil and that she wanted to, that she didn't want to deal with her anymore. So just devastating details, as you can imagine, just as a mom saying that about your child. So again, her bond was set for $15 million. And as soon as we get more, we'll let you guys know.
And as soon, I mean, it's just insanity. Absolute insanity. I don't get it. I don't get it. Yeah. Yeah. I don't know if it's just the fact that I'm watching for this, you know, and I'm subscribed and I follow so many news stations across our nation, because I want to, you know, that's something that I have really enjoyed is following all the news from different parts of the country and even the world, you know, things that I've never seen before. Like yesterday, I got to show my kids a humpback whale that breached in New Jersey. And, you know, that's not something that we would see on our local news. So, you know, seeing things like that and seeing the positive news, but also seeing the horrific crime that is actually going on and how bad it really is. And that's, yeah. I mean, it's definitely, I will make mistakes and I will learn from them and I will continue to progress. Exactly. You live and learn. And I'll figure. That's true. Oh, you're well, thank you. And so are you. And yes, what Mighty Marsha said, public execution served a purpose. They should bring them back for crimes against children. Yes, they should. Do I have, let me see, do I have that clip done? I can't remember if I finished it. No, I don't think I did. I have a saying, bring in the wood chipper. And when it comes to crimes against children, I say that we should just take the wood chipper, roll it up to the courthouse door and go Fargo on their ass. Randy, I'm so glad you're here. You are amazing. Keep it on, like telling their stories. That you guys encouraged me. I couldn't do this without you. You are truly the superstars, and I love each and every one of you. I value each and every one of you. So I'll be live, like I said, at 9:00 tonight with Quentin updates. And I will try to get through a few videos on Crystal Rogers. We're going to do a deep dive into her. Hope that an arrest is made soon. This search is huge. So I am hoping that an arrest is made because her delayed justice has been too long. Yes. Crimes against children, crimes against the elderly, and crimes against the mentally challenged. Absolutely. And domestic violence is another thing that I'm seeing way too much. And abductions are on the rise, guys. So situational awareness is so, so important. Please be aware of your surroundings. And I will continue to bring you updates as I always do. Keep shining. And if you see something, say something. Bye, guys.
I'm just doing my best, even though I'm so stressed out. Everything just feels like a test that I feel so depressed.
So how are you guys doing over here? What did you think of all that information? Unreal. Sometimes, because it's easier to dispose of bodies, have you read Murder Machine? I have not. So what do you think, guys? Like, why were those boys out there with that fancy bike and trailer? What do you think they were taking? Do you think it was money? Do you think it was drugs? Do you think it was metals? What do you guys think's been going on? I mean, those are big enough to use for metal for sure, but how obvious would that be? My imagination is not my friend, Mexi. Okay, what's this here? And another option with a fancy trailer. Roy DeMeo and his crew. Okay, is this out of the US, James? Am I thinking of the right DeMeo? Yeah. So yeah, guys, I think everything was kind of covered. What I knew and plus some, actually. I wouldn't mind looking into this guy a little bit and seeing what the hell was... Oh, the Gambinos, okay. And see what the hell was going on with this old guy out there. I find it kind of strange that a 70-year-old man was able to do all of this and have the physical strength to mangle them up and toss them. Now, they've also said that they found human remains not too far, but it looks like maybe a little bit north of where they were, where these remains were. So is that the old guy? I would like... I'm almost thinking it could be. It's close enough, and they were saying that he was having some non-aliving tendencies going on. You know, well, you whack up a bunch of your local townies. I'd imagine if you're any kind of human, there's going to be a little guilt associated with that. Needs to just turn himself in, you know, let these families have some form of justice. So the Gambinos, right? Another interesting crime family. Absolutely. Absolutely. Okay, well, you know what, guys? I'm going to jump off. Thank you very, very, very much for being here. I appreciate you tons and tons. And if there's another update, I will be sure to let you know. So, yeah, for now, have a great day, and I will absolutely